After Biden and Trump square off, we want you to sound off and tell us what you think. At KBLA Talk 1580, you can black talk us anytime.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn-offs, fantasies, and fetishes? Financial infidelity. Are you dating a fat person? Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy snap?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with a bad touch routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
No book, article, or I should say words, can capture the intensity of relationships in collectivist societies. So brilliantly smothering, in your face, sometimes in the form of kisses on the cheek, and invigorating are these relationships that the self is lost to the collective, and the harmony of the group becomes more important than silly old you. As isms, individualism and collectivism are often politicized, viewed as either good or bad. Despite their flaws to capture and explain cultural phenomena and the biases they evoke, these isms do hint at relational and learning styles that teachers should understand. Loretta Hammond says, quote, "I don't want to stereotype cultures in an oversimplified frame, but to simply offer the archetype of collectivism versus individualism as a way of understanding the general cultural orientation among diverse students in the classroom," end quote. Sociologist Geert Hofstede says, quote, "In a collectivist society, the relationship comes first, the task comes second. In the individualistic society, the task comes first, and the relationship may come afterwards." This relationship-first approach is essential for American teachers to understand. When I lived in the country of Georgia, when a guest entered your home, even if the guest came unannounced, you stopped what you were doing and served them. The person took priority over the task.
Come on! This is heavy. Listen. So, a collectivist society. Asian culture, African culture, South American culture. It's collective. Right? The relationships come first. The task comes second. In an individualistic society, which is America, the relationship comes second. Even though in corporate America, what do they say? They're like, hey, relationships are everything. No. What's everything for most people in America is what I want out of the situation, what I can get out of the situation. And we carry this individualistic mindset into relationships. So listen to what the collectivist society says. The relationship is first, the task is secondary. In an individualistic society, the task is first, the relationship is second. Do you not see the correlation in our intimate relationships here in America? The relationship itself is the task. This is the vehicle by which I get my desired outcome. I want something out of this person. And I have to be very discerning about who the person is, because I want to ensure that they can deliver what this particular outcome I'm in pursuit of. Do you see? And for those type of people, they will conform. They will be a chameleon. They will act. They will be a relationship thespian. They'll do anything they need to do in order to complete the task. For many people, relationship is the task. Like, why? We live in a society that says you wasted my time. Whereas anybody thinking with any level of spiritual consciousness would say what? I learned from that situation. I didn't get the particular outcome I wanted, but I learned some, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 3 key aspects of my own blind spots. That situation actually made me better, so it was still a come up. Heavy stuff. Let's get Dr. Naka's final thought. Dr. Naka, get back in here, Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir. I'm in here. Hey, man, that's all I got. And, man, I really appreciate you over the years that I've been listening to you for a long time now, since, I think it was XM Foxhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've been rocking with you for a long time, my brother.
I appreciate
you put out some of the best quality radio that I ever heard.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. Dr. Naka, guess what you just did?
What I did, Zoe?
You brought Houston, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got the author of the topic on the line. And I'm starting to get a lot more topics from a lot more people. But Attila, she done took this topic thing and jumped right out the window without without a parachute. Come on, Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Uncle Zoe, what's up? What's up?
What up? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So I kind of wanted to talk about like what led me to write it, or rather, what led me to come up with the idea. I don't know if you remember that video you sent me on Instagram. With, I think it was one of those like dating shows, and the guy is talking to the girl, and he's a little feminine and she's a little masculine, and they're kind of going back and forth, I guess, about their expectations. And my whole thing in watching that was not to argue about your expectations to no avail, but to balance it. You're more feminine, she's more masculine. Y'all make a perfect couple. That might be wild to some people. I'm just saying.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
So that's kind of what made me think. I was like, maybe our issues are the boxes that we put each other in. Like, you're supposed to be like this, and a real man is supposed to be like this. And if you were a real woman, you would submit. Like, instead of just going with what is actually natural to you, there's a reason why you're drawn to certain things. And instead of finding somebody who matches that, you would rather force the person that you're attracted to fit. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Well, wait a minute, Auntie, let's take the gloves off. Do you think modern day women look at submission as conformity?
Oh Lord!
Ooh, dude.
So you trying to get me in trouble?
Hey, I need to know.
Don't be having a bunch of people in my inbox now.
I'm just asking. I'm asking. Do they?
Do we look at it as conformity? And what do you mean by that? Like, elaborate a little bit more. Conformity in regards to what?
Conforming
in regards to that man?
To him. Whatever he says.
Well, you
goes.
are. That's what submission is. You are conforming to him. The problem is a lot of us are not attracting men that we're willing to do that for. So, I mean, part of that could be, I mean, it could be for a myriad of reasons. Maybe you didn't act well enough. Maybe your mask is not on tight enough. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, just maybe, you're not aligned with who you really are. And so what you're attracting is you, but you don't know it because you're not aligned with you. Perhaps you're just disgusted with you. Like somebody in the comments, I think the name is BKS Too Real. He said, no one wants to be alone. Even the zombies in I Am Legend would group together. I mean, is that not telling?
That's telling. Yeah.
Is that not telling? So let's talk about hive mind, zombified, right? For somebody who is self-actualized, conformity is going to be difficult. It's not that they're resisting you, they're following themselves.
But you're tapping on something really big here, because to me, That's what a relationship is for. It's actually for self-actualization. It's how you see yourself. It's how you grow up. It's how you're given the opportunity to take responsibility for a wayward wound, right? But I don't think that is the reason why people get into relationships. Please, go deeper.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, because then that would mean that I would have to be vulnerable, that I would have to reveal certain things, because I think as long as we are attached to outcomes, attached to images, what things look like, right, within ourselves, we're going to do that with other people as well. So you'll never reach that level with that person where you could have a safe space, so to speak, because you're attached to your own outcomes anyway. You got your own agendas, right? When you talk about ultra-conformity makes monsters out of people, right? Think about it, due to suppression, denial, ego, all those things are kind of going around in a cocktail, until it becomes like a cocktail bomb. So I think there's arguments that can be had on both sides in regards to conformity. You even played the part about the collective. My question with the collective, I mean, there's questions you could ask there too. Is the collective a mask for your shortcomings?
Probably, sure.
You know what I mean? So anything I think that is misused can be used as a mask. So I think maybe it's just a matter of like monitoring our own motives. But you can only do that if you're really real with you.
If you're honest with self, right?
Yeah, I mean, your ability to conform authentically, I'm going to back Andy up a little bit. Your ability to conform authentically is only as real as you are.
Keep going. I want more.
I'm just saying, I think there's a lot of bonuses to conforming in the sense that you see that person's perspective and you're deciding, I actually want to take that on because I am believing and seeing the vision that you're coming up with. When you talk about submission, that's what that would be. That is that woman recognizing that there's a greater vision in this man that I actually want to align with.
I love
it. Right? I mean,
we getting it in right now. We getting it in. Kenny Bless just said conformity causes doppelgangers. You got to call in and explain that, Kenny. Come on. 1-800-920-50.
They not like us?
Oh, hey, Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
You know what? I got one more question.
Yes.
I just got one more question. Krishnamurti has a very interesting take on conformity. And he was totally against it, right? And he has a quote that I always quote, and everybody hears me quote this all the time since I've been on this show. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. But this is where we get our sense of self from. We get it from where we're from. We get it from who raised us. But oftentimes, we lose sight of that conditioned part of our psyche when we get into a relationship. Why do you think that is?
I think because, think about it, if I'm conditioned in one way to conform to my family, it's only right that the next person that comes along that I really, really like and have now adopted them as my pseudo-family, I would conform to, right? A man shall leave his father and mother and do what? Cleave to his wife. Cleave to his wife. So I think some of that is in our nature, simply for the fact that it's a matter of protection. It's a matter of survival, support. Like that person said in their comment, people don't want to be alone, right? I think, again, but even with Krishnamurti's quote, he's saying a profoundly sick society. So what if the society wasn't sick because the people aren't sick? Would that be an ideal? You know, I don't know. Like, can we imagine a world like that? Like, does that exist? A world or a space where the person and the people around you are not sick, and perhaps that's what people are looking through love, is a space that is not sick?
Deep.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I don't know.
No. Hey, conform. It's a verb. You know, middle 14th century. It means to be obedient to God, to comply, right?
Oof.
To agree.
Mm-hmm.
Make or be similar. Be agreeable. This is deep now. Listen, okay, if it means to be obedient to God, then wouldn't true conformity be in alignment with the Eastern saying of Namaste? The God in me bows to the God in you. Could conformity, true conformity, really be about the acknowledgement of the divine within each other, and then we obey that? But if a person hasn't reached that level of consciousness, then we do ourselves a disservice to conform to an unhealed person. Now, with that being said, that's 90%. 99.999% of everybody you meet, work in progress. So conforming should be taken off the table if you cannot obey the divine in them as well as the divine in yourself. Like if you can't find the relationship between the divine in them and you, conformity should be off the table. Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if I completely agree with it. Only I would say that
that's
if
fine.
that
I want to know.
in your life, well, I would say if that person is in your life and the relationship opportunity presents itself, that is your classroom to get to that place. Perhaps that person is the person, as you say, that can. What did you say that one time that can exacerbate your wounds? Something like that. I can't remember what you said.
Spiritual irritant.
Yeah, the person that can be the spiritual irritant to get you to that place that only they have the key to unlock the door that is within you.
But nobody wants to be irritated. You know that. Nobody wants to be bothered.
Nobody wants to, but you will.
We run into relationships for peace, for quiet. And this is why, that's all I'm saying, this is why when you heard the first clip at the beginning, most people are looking at this relationship as somewhat of a spiritual vacation. I want to be able to get away from drama. I want to be able to get away from trials and tribulations. But what they fail to realize is that is the actual spiritual functioning of relationships. That's what it's for. Sure,
right.
We've aggrandized the accoutrement that comes with relationship, which is travel, which is dinner, which is birthday gifts, which is Christmas. We've aggrandized the icing, but the real cake is this person is here to be the sand in your clam so you can cultivate an inner pearl. Just hold tight. When we come forward, I'm going back to Houston, Texas. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the deal.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Dia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Dia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Dia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA delegation, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Has your weight loss dreams, have they turned into a weight gain nightmare? Have you been chasing those 20 pounds for the last 20 years? Then it's time for D-Herbs. D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. The Full Body Cleanse will also boost your immune system and improve your digestion. With summer just right around the corner, stop chasing the 20-pound weight loss and propel yourself into a healthier lifestyle. To reboot your system and lose those 20 pounds, just go to dherbs.com and order your full body cleanse or call 866-434-3727. Mention KBLA 1580 and get 10% off your order. dherbs.com. Experience healing.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
A dedication to all the refugees worldwide. One time. Say. I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Brooklyn. About solving the crookedness. I did mingle with the good people we meet. Good friends we had, good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say, until my peeps who passed away. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry.
So can we together think the absolute need of a good society. The society is what we are. Society doesn't come into being mysteriously. It's not created by God. Man has created this society with all the wars and all that's going on. We don't have to go into all the horrible details of it. And that society is what we are. What each human being is. That's fairly obvious. That is, we create this society with all its divisions, with its conflicts, with its terror, with its inequality, and so on, so on, so on. Because in ourselves we are that. It is in our relationship with each other. We are that. We may be fairly tolerant, fairly affectionate in private relationship. Even that's rather doubtful. But with regard to the rest of the human beings, we are not. Which is again fairly obvious when you read the newspapers, magazines, and actually see what's going on.
Hey, man, Krishnamurti's not playing with y'all. Society right? We will conform to somebody that is of a higher power than us. It's just, there's another psychological experiment that happened at the University of Stanford that deals with conditioning and conforming. I think it was they created a prison, right, at Stanford. Created a prison, and the guys who played the role of the inmates and the guys who played the role of the officers took on the conditioning of those two roles in society. And, the students that played the role of the officers wound up abusing, right, the students that played the role of the inmate. So there's a certain level of conditioning, and this is what Krishnamurti is speaking of when he says there's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Now think about what we're carrying into our relationship. What conditioning, what modeling from childhood are we carrying into our adult relationships that may cause us to conform out of fear? Right? Fear of rejection, fear of loss, scarcity, fear of loneliness, all of it. Atala, get back in here.
Yes.
Yes. Give me your final thought on this.
Well, that's my granny used to say in the 60s, because she said the nation told her don't say hell or hello because hell is low, something like that.
Hell is
anyway,
low.
Look, every time she answered the phone, she'd say, yes. There's even Henry there. So Kenny asked me a good question. He said, so you're saying that those who conform are also manipulative. The two are not mutually exclusive.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh, no. Wait. That question. Are you saying those who conform are also manipulative? Do not move. When we come forward, we going back to that. Good stuff.
No woman, no cry. I remember when we used to rock in a project yard in Jersey. And little Georgie would make us party live. And stolen cars passed through the night. And then we'd hit the corner store for roots, paper, and room. My drinks, my only remedy for pain of losing family. But while I'm gone, shorty, everything's gonna be alright.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Rock superstar Elton John will join President Biden in New York on Friday to celebrate the 55th anniversary of the Stonewall Inn uprising. Actors Billy Porter, who's black, and Alan Cumming will also be at the $250 a ticket Stonewall event. A 76-year-old woman is walking for racial equality. Rachel Zola is walking over 700 miles from Chicago, Illinois to Montgomery, Alabama. During her trip, she is performing one-woman shows where she shares stories of black people in their own words. A man is accused of assaulting Cook County, Illinois State's Attorney Kim Fox, who's black, in South Suburban Flossmoor. William Sweats was charged with aggravated battery in a public place and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Prosecutors say the suspect was in his vehicle when he threw a brown liquid substance from a drink cup at Fox before trying to hit her with his car on Friday. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Sponsored by U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Don't miss the debate of the season, Thursday night on KBLA Talk 1580. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump face off this week in the first presidential debate. Tune in to Areva Martin Out Loud, Thursday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for pre-debate analysis. And stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for the presidential debate at 6 p.m. Immediately following the debate, Areva Martin will moderate a roundtable panel of political experts and take your live phone calls only on KBLA Talk 1580. After Biden and Trump square off, we want you to sound off and tell us what you think. At KBLA Talk 1580, you can black talk us anytime.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and Sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Joe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Get it to food. Yeah. It's time to go to the block. You want to be a cowboy? Yeah. Hey, Mike. Get your guns to meet me in the back right now. Ole. Everyone wants to be a cowboy. Grab your gun, boys. Ole. 45 by my side, you live. You shot your bullet, but the bullet went. Desperado. I pull out my gun and plug two like True Gore. Right, clef. Pace one. Yo, this is how the West was won. Amado. True Desperado. Rappers wanna be actors, so they play the Jesse James Collar and get their bones fractured. You ain't got no guns, you off to the precinct. Inside, tough guys are feminine like Sheila Easton. Who must Christ, son still died. Thrown off the building like the fourth guy. Caved in the grave cause you didn't know how to behave. Playing cowboy, now you sleep with the slaves. Who's the desperado? Selling bottles in the alley. On some villains wearing a mask like Jim Carrey. With his jackpot, thinking up the crack spot. Pace one guys with both eyes on the jackpot. Found out I'm from bed to see Pat Chowder. Sundance Kid is the everyday purse snatcher. If you see him coming, you better start running like a terrorist. I guarantee you he'll be bombing. Dynamite, dynamite. I got the cash.
Do you have unrealistic relationship expectations? Most of us do. This video is going to explore very common ones many of us hold. One of the most common relationship expectations is the belief that others should meet all of my needs. In childhood, where many of these beliefs or expectations were formed, that of course was the case. We were completely dependent on our caregivers to meet all of our needs. As we grow and as we mature, it becomes our responsibility to identify and to meet our needs. Quite honestly, no one else can meet all of our needs at any given time. It is really on us. When we hold our partners up to that expectation to meet all of our needs all of the time, we really create a lot of conflict and suffering in our relationships. Another common relationship expectation is this, what I call mind reading, or this idea that others even can know what's in our head, know what our needs are, anticipate, and then meet them without us even speaking any words to them at all. A lot of this is based in childhood, where we didn't have verbal communication, where it was the job of our caregivers to show up, to have that level of attunement, to be able to figure out what it is that was wrong with us. When we were crying, were we tired? Were we hungry? Were we uncomfortable, and did we need a change? There was a sort of mind reading that caregivers needed to do.
But do you see how conformity can arise out of such early childhood modeling? Do you see? This is why it's very important for us to have this conversation, because I've spoken with a lot of youngsters, a lot of young people who are just getting their feet wet as it pertains to relationships, or when it comes to relationships, and many of them are willing to do whatever. And I'm saying it's not about doing whatever. It's about being who you are. Now, take it from somebody who spent many years not being himself. My 20s, it was a struggle. You know, by the time I'm in my mid-30s, I'm getting an understanding of me. You know, a lot of shadow work was done in my mid-30s to until my 40s. I didn't stop doing it, but that's when it was at its heaviest. I had the shovel in the spiritual dirt, and I was turning over the soil. I was really like trying to figure out, you know, where I came from and who I am and what I'm about. And that work hasn't stopped. But that's when I really put it into sixth gear. So, and that's why we're talking about this tonight, because I believe it's an important relationship conformity. We typically conform when there's an imbalance of power, and we believe that this person can deliver whatever desired outcome we think, or whatever desired outcome that we desire. Now, don't get it twisted. Conforming is not compromising. I believe compromise is necessary, but I believe compromise has limits as well. I always say compromise up until the point where you begin to compromise yourself, right? So, again, if you're unhealed, based on that video we just heard, the clip we just heard, the formation of unrealized expectations usually come out of some wound. And this is going to put you in a position to even consider conforming, especially if you think this person can deliver. Atala, Houston, Texas, get in here. Finish your thought.
Yeah, I don't really have much left to add. I'll just say that I think that we have to stop providing the ingredients for unchecked conformity, or should we say egoic conformity, and maybe focus a little bit more, on tempering the Figo. I feel like the Figo is the fuel to the fire a lot of times. So
for people
who
don't know what Figo is, what is that?
Fear and ego. That is the fuel to your fire in terms of your motivation. So perhaps become more pure in your motivations and become more pure in your compromises.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas, back in the building. Houston always got a seat at the table. That's our second call from Houston. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Really quickly, in the month of August, I am doing my first relationship masterclass in the last 2 years. The last one I did was 2 years ago. And this is the first one I've done in a couple of years, and I'm really excited about it. It's called the Relationship ER, Emergency Room. The Relationship ER Masterclass with Zoe Williams. It's a 2-day event. Of course, it's going to be like a Zoom situation. I'm going to make sure I get you guys the link before I get out of here. It's August 3rd and 4th. Just, when I get you guys the link, I want you guys to sign up. It's a 2-day situation. Day 1 is going to be all philosophy. Day 2, that's when I bring in all my clinician friends, and we're going to sit down and we're going to break down some really heavy things. But day 1 is so important because I will be revealing the table of contents, the chapters, and actually the philosophy behind my new book, which is coming out soon. So, the Relationship ER Masterclass, August 3rd and 4th. Your host, your brother, Zoe Williams. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get you guys that link. Now, back to today's topic, conformity. Right? We talked about Solomon Ash in the 50s when he did the experiment with the lines. Most of us are willing to conform so as not to be shamed or guilted or embarrassed. And many of us are taking that same philosophy into adult relationships. Listen to Krishnamurti. Tradition implies authority, conformity, imitation, following. Now listen to this. I'm not saying every tradition is bad. 4th of July, my family has a tradition. We all get together and go to my uncle and my cousin's house because they live by the Rose Bowl. We get to see the fireworks for free. That's a good tradition. But don't you know your inner wounds have a tradition? Don't you know your unhealed childhood trauma is a type of tradition? Now, if we're walking into relationships as security guards, right, bodyguards for those wounds, right, Do you see? More than likely, we'll be more apt to conform because that's the toxicity that is defined as our norm. Krishnamurti, one more time. Tradition implies authority, conformity, imitation, following. Now, for a lot of people who are not hip to Krishnamurti's work, please understand, Krishnamurti is not against knowledge. Many people think that he is. He's saying knowledge has to be divided, right? We have technical knowledge. I'm in a building. I'm sitting at a table. There's a computer. There's microphones. There is a technical knowledge that is needed in order to construct all of this. He says technical knowledge is good. He says where we get tripped up as human beings is psychological knowledge. So when he says tradition implies authority, conformity, imitation, and following, what he's really saying is your whole reality is built on what you haven't healed. He also said relationship operates as a mirror. So now we entered the university of you, i.e. relationships. We're being reflected back to ourselves, right? And that irritates us, right? We reject the irritation, right? We don't want to go into it. We want to move away to something that feels better, right? But the lessons aren't being learned, right? We're actually conforming to the demands of the unhealed wound. So remember, when Murti is talking about tradition and authority and conformity, he's talking about psychologically. So listen to this next one. Order cannot possibly be brought about through conformity to a pattern under any circumstance. Listen to what he said. He's not talking about the order of how to build an iPhone. He's not talking about technology. He even said it before he died. He said, we are monstrously technologically advanced. But he says, our technology is more advanced than our psychology, than our spirituality. Technology is way more advanced than our spiritual capabilities. Not because that's actually true, but because we live in a society that's individualistic. Some would even say borderline narcissistic, that causes us to put our grind down and put our hustle down in pursuit of pleasure through the various means that pleasure may come from. Career success, financial success, which is career success, right? Or can be. Materialistic acquisitions, relationship goals are all under all of this pursuit of acquisition. Now, if you haven't healed anything, if you haven't confronted anything internally, there are patterns that you modeled that become the lieutenant of your life. It's the one giving the orders. Listen. Order cannot possibly be brought about through conformity to a pattern under any circumstances. How many of us conform to what is wounded within us? Quincy Jones said to me one time, he was like, man, people are filled with holes, holes they can't fill, Whatever you do, you're not going to fill the hole. The hole is insatiable, Right? He's talking about psychological wounds, right? No one can save you from self-work. And I think that's the biggest piece here. No one can save you from the work you must do in order to correct you. Right? But we live in a society that is so Oh my God, where's my next check gonna come from? Oh, how am I gonna pay for this? Oh, we live in such an anxiety-producing environment, cortisol-producing environment, that we can't even think about the spiritual purpose of why we relate. When I come forward, I'm gonna dig even deeper.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertari Plessy. Nefertari felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Pick up your microphones.
Wait, hold on. I love that record. But what's the other one? They got another one. What's next? Just tell me what we got. Because they got one that I need to hear. Nope. The Score. Yup. Boy, let me tell you something. Lauryn Hill.
But you ain't saying nothing.
Lauryn Hill is the greatest female rapper of all time.
Soldier. It's time to settle the score. Left. Time I settle the score. Ripper to the raw, rum to the ripple. Single. But the times I come in triple. Blah, blah. With the heat into your head, now you dead. Why I don't give a ooh if you're dead. Let me attack you like a black cat. You in the wrong.
Okay, alright. My playlist is my co-host. Y'all know what I do. But we gotta get this final clip in here. Let's do it.
It can feel very weird and a bit threatening to talk about taking the pressure off a relationship. Our collective, inherited romantic culture likes to imagine functioning couples doing more or less everything together and being the center of each other's lives. The good couple is, we're told, one in which two people mean more or less everything to one another. In a sound relationship, we're supposed to meet each other's needs in every area of existence, from sex to intellectual stimulation, cooking styles to bedroom habits. We're supposed to lead our social life in tandem, be the primary sounding board for one another's problems, and complete each other in spirit and in matter. If they're involved in a sport, we should at once join in, or at least come along and support them every weekend. If we want to visit a particular country, they're supposed to trot along enthusiastically with us. Our friends are meant to be their friends.
I gotta stop it. Because a self-realized person is not gonna do all of that. They're gonna be like, you're okay going with your friends. You're alright. I don't have to be there. And they're gonna see you as trying to integrate them into everything you're doing. If they've done their work, they're going to see that as a bit clingy. They're going to see like, oh, you don't have your own movement going kind of thing. I've seen it happen. Listen, yes, we're supposed to cooperate and collaborate and compromise, but we're not. We're not supposed to conform. Right? Listen, conform from its etymological root means obey. I'm going to obey your higher self, just like I'm going to obey my higher self. I'm going to acknowledge it because when we hear that word, real recognize real, divine recognizes divine. And if we're still struggling with our inner demons, there's nothing to conform to. I know you guys don't want to hear it put that way, but that's really what it is. We could work with each other. We could collab with each other. We could be each other's accountability partner. But I cannot conform to something that is resistant to acknowledging itself. Listen, I started the conversation. It's really up to you to finish it. I'm the voice of reason. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. You already know what it is that I do. Hey, I got you tomorrow.
Wanted by the manager, souping me up, saying, you're a good worker. How would you like a quarter raise? Move up to the register. Large in charge, but you gotta be a spy. Come back and tell me who's bagging my fries. Getting high on company time. Hell no, sirree. Wrong MC. Why should I be inspired when you're spying me? And you see what you thought you saw but never seen. You missed your last move. Checkmate, crown me king. Pull my 22 pistol, whip them in his face.